So we've just been looking at the next generation consoles, or current generation consoles now, I guess they are.
Depends on what you view.
Yeah.
Depends how much money you've got.
Yeah. Who wins this console war?
So for me, it's next generation.
Yeah, next generation, because I don't know when I'll be buying one, but definitely kind of, I'm on the fence right now, but which one I should get. I mean, after reviewing both of them, I'm really not too sure which one I prefer.
Yeah, that's kind of why I didn't want to pick a side before they came out. I kind of thought PS4 had the edge, but from actually looking at them and using them, it's kind of hard to decide between them.
It's the same horse in a different colour.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, this is still it's a strange thing. Like, a lot of the software really changes what you get out of the console, though.
Yep.
That seems to be now. It's no longer about the hardware specs. It's about what it can offer you, its range of modes and so forth.
I mean, you can talk about specs till you're blue in the face, but what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
It's getting to the point now as well that, I mean, even though the specs are different between the two consoles, it's only marginal.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're not going to notice the difference, really.
Yeah, because every game is being developed for both platforms. In that sense, they're all going to be downgraded, they're all going to be upgraded or whatever. They're going to look the same on both consoles. So that's what I'm saying. Like, everything seems to come down to what the base features of the console it can offer you, and surprisingly, it's like the Xbox One really does seem to offer you a lot more. Let's talk about the Xbox One first then. Let's get right to
Xbox.
What it has. Yeah, I mean, the first thing that really you notice is you talk to your Xbox.
Yep.
Like, that's the main thing. And
it can understand you.
Yeah, not using navigating the menus anymore, not using your control pad. I want to just sit there and say, Xbox, go to Netflix, Xbox.
And the crazy thing is, it tends to hear you better when you don't try and do an accent.
Yeah.
You're like,
Which
Xbox, turn on please, thanks.
Which is what famously Scottish people had to do previously with Kinect.
Yeah. They've really improved it. Like, the technology is pretty great.
Yeah, I mean, especially even to things like FIFA, where it asks you where you're from, United Kingdom, then it asks you where you're from in the United Kingdom to get your accent right.
That's pretty good.
So when you're shouting at the ref or you're shouting at other players,
it knows your language, so it can ban you from Xbox Live.
Like we said, the Xbox just seems to have a lot more there.
Yeah, like free to play with once you turn it on.
And it does kind of remind me of like the last generation, because that's one thing that I noticed between the PS3 and the Xbox 360 is that the PS3 dashboard is quite bland. There's not a lot on it, but it's just kind of functional.
Yep.
Like, everything has a place. But Xbox One actually kind of advertises its features, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, a bit too much in a kind of sense.
To an extent, yeah.
It does become kind of cluttered with like extra advert buttons and stuff like that. You don't really know what is your content and what is content directed at you.
Yeah, because I think that's what the PlayStation 4 also suffers from, is that anything you have installed on your machine will come up on that main menu.
Yeah.
So it's quite difficult for you to remember if you walk away or leave your console a couple of days to go, what game did I leave in?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So without ejecting it, there's no real sense of this is what you've got on your console right now. Whereas Xbox is like, this is what you've got ready.
The thing I like about the Xbox One is that it's the big feature, like in your dashboard when you come in. Like, usually on the previous 360, the feature was advertising.
Yes.
Now that big feature is what game you are currently playing,
or what app, or what menu.
So whatever you use, when you come back to the dashboard, or say get Xbox Go Home, it takes you to the home page, but you still see whatever you are currently doing.
Yeah, you were quite surprised that Rise was still loading when we were in the main dashboard.
So you could go about and do whatever you want while you're waiting for these things to load up, and that's really cool. See, one thing about the Xbox, I think I wouldn't really use myself, but I can see it being really helpful for a lot of people, is the ability to snap applications.
Yep.
Like, that seems great, like to be able to go what am I doing on Skype? I'm talking to someone, but I want to see them at the same time.
Yeah.
So you can be playing your game and you can snap Skype to the side of the screen. That just seems really useful, because I mean, I've done it before when I've been playing on, like, say the PS3 with you guys. I've put Skype up, I've been using it on my laptop or my phone, so I've got this other device running it, but if you get the same device to do the same thing,
there's no need to have everything on at the same time.
I guess that's why they want to call it the Xbox One, because it's supposed to be the all-in-one.
the PlayStation 4 and the land is completely different from what the Xbox One's doing, which is it's a gaming console.
Yes, 100%.
I thought at first that they'd taken away the cross media bar, but it is kind of hidden above. You just have to access it, but it's not the predominant feature anymore. But it's still nice that it's there because it's familiar.
Yeah.
But there's nothing new.
No. But it's weird because like the main thing you get now is like everything you've done previously.
Yes.
Sort of. It's sort of like
what's new.
This is it. Yeah. It's like a news feed of sorts.
Yeah, it's something that used to be completely hidden in the PlayStation media bar, cross media bar.
Oh, that's what it is. It's the same little box thing from the sides.
Yeah, it used to be at the far right at PlayStation Network, or when you're on the network, and it would show you what's new, but it used to only show you what was new demo-wise, game add-ons. It would come up,
and what you had done.
It was a menu within a menu within a menu, but now it's just like
the main
everything.
thing.
But it's like what your friends have been playing, what they've just turned on, did they beat a level, did they get a high score, and it is like a Facebook wall, although a very cluttered.
Yeah, I mean that's what I thought when I saw it, and I think that was the first thing I said when I saw it. Was like, that's pretty much just Facebook. The only thing it was missing was like a Candy Crush.
Yeah.
Updates. But then it's replaced if your friends are playing Resogun, so jump on and play. So obviously one of the biggest features of these new consoles is socialising and being sociable with people you can't see.
Sharing is caring.
Yeah, because that's the thing, like, people were complaining about this from the get-go, but when they saw there was a big fucking button that says share instead of select now, and they're like, I don't want to share things with people, what are you talking about?
Not realising that they didn't actually need to press the button.
Yeah, but it seems to be that's the big thing now, having like your Facebook style integration where you're basically just showing everyone what you're doing and Twitch and stuff like that.
I mean, the share button will share that the last 15 minutes, it'll instantly record that constantly. When you hit share, it'll put that up for you to edit as you see appropriate. It's really simple. Like, you really go to the point where you want to like start, trim it,
a Starlight.
Trim,
is that available?
If only. And then it'll upload it to only Facebook though. That's the only downside. Is that if you don't have Facebook, then
if you don't have friends,
or if you don't have friends on Facebook who'd be interested in your video, then you're pretty much scuppered.
So you can't go on MySpace and send it to Tom.
No,
unfortunately.
You're one friend on MySpace.
I miss Tom.
Yeah, but this is the thing. It's like Xbox. I see seems to be like they're just pushing everyone into Skype. Like even like Microsoft in general have been pushing people towards Skype for a long time now, and that seems to be their big thing. It's like they just want everyone to go through their software, whereas like the PS4 seems to be integrating with stuff like Facebook and Twitch, so that people can watch the content on there and on other devices.
I mean, that's pretty much what Sony right off the bat made sure that Twitch and that was ready to go, and PlayStation share. But Microsoft delayed it slightly, and the advantage of that was they didn't have Boobygate. Of people stripping off, undressing their wives.
I'm sure there'd be a way to do it on the Xbox. We can figure it out. Kinect's looking at you all the time. I'm sure there's some kind of backlog in there.
Although it can't see your junk, can't see you through your clothes, it can't see your heartbeat. Shame.
I know.
In terms of games for the PlayStation 4, obviously a lot of their initial day one releases turned out not to be day one releases because the majority of the games that they had for that were pushed back quite far.
And that's the problem with being a purely gaming console. When your first party titles get delayed, is there's not much there.
I'll tell you what they do have though. They do have a hell of a lot more marketplace stuff. That is what I've seen. Like there's a lot more like indie games and stuff right off the bat for you to download and play.
Well, if you've got PlayStation Plus, you've got Resogun and Contrast.
Yeah.
That was a smart move of making those two titles. The two free titles, especially Resogun's beyond addictive, and it's the best thing that the PlayStation's got to offer. But if you don't buy PlayStation Plus or buy into PlayStation Plus, then you're not getting that kind of bonus. You still have to pay that £40 a year to get it, just like Xbox Live.
Yeah.
But if that's not your thing, whether it be Xbox Live or PlayStation Plus, then you're not getting that bonus of having that game for free. $12.99 is still an absolute bargain, but I don't think Killzone and that quite cut it enough.
No.
In terms of being the only two box games first party available.
As far as launch games go, I mean, I find like Killzone really unenjoyable.
Yes.
And like even like Dead Rising 3 isn't as good as it should be on the Xbox One. But I think it's still a better game than what they've got. That's the thing I have to say about the PS4. I do feel like its exclusives looked a lot tighter. Like they had good frame rates, good lighting, good texture qualities and stuff like that. I mean, gameplay aside, they're not that great, but they do look better, and I don't know if that matters.
Yeah, I think the thing in terms of graphics is the fact that there's not a bigger leap this gen as there was compared to last gen, because you went from Xbox and PS2 on normal TVs, like in a normal SCART cables, to HDMI component, high def TVs, fantastic looking graphics, and it was a much larger jump.
I mean, a good example was like, for me anyway, GTA San Andreas and then GTA 4 was amazing. When you saw the new version of Liberty City, like
just upgrade
totally
to hell.
Yeah.
But I think when that term Rockstar's on another level, because you look at Grand Theft Auto 5, it looks better, almost as good as some of the things they're playing on.
It pretty much matches like Dead Rising in a lot of places, you know, like that kind of scale and amount of stuff going on.
So, thoughts and feelings?
I don't know.
Who won the console war?
I was originally like a PS4 because I was like, all I want is a games console, right? And that's all I really do want. At the end of the day, is something I can play games on. But looking at the extra amount of features and the way the Xbox controls, it feels so much more. Like, I feel like there's more options. Like, if I had this, I could use it for multiple things. And I don't know, it really does appeal to me, and it shouldn't. But
for me personally, it always has and it always will boil down to what games.
Yes, definitely.
Because coming from a longer generation where graphics have never mattered, and looking up as graphics progressed, it's now got to the stage where I'm thinking, well, the graphics don't matter. You get the gameplay, you get the substance there. I'll play the shit out of that game. But if there's nothing behind that lovely exterior, then you're not going to last very long. And for me, the Xbox wins with that at the minute, so it's won the battle for me.
Even with Resogun, would you say? Because for me, playing Resogun was the best gaming experience in a long time, but it's not.
If we go for best game, Resogun wins. But if you're willing to fork out £350 to buy just the console, and Sony have pre-packed them all in knacking Killzone, so you're already up to £400, then spending £40 for PlayStation Plus, or even, let's not go for that, let's go for $12.99, £413 to play Resogun, or $450 if we go with a game to get your Xbox.
I mean,
with more content to begin with, more games available.
I mean, there is tons of third-party games available, but half of them I've already played in content. So.
For me, I think in terms of who's won the console war or battle so far, kind of going back to war games, where the only way to win is not really to take part and just buy both. And that way you're not going to be that way you're not going to be disappointed. Of course, that kind of relies on you having enough money to buy both, which I don't even have enough money to buy one.
For nothing.
There is that.
I mean, for me, the winner is still the PC right now. Until someone can show me something that's definitely going to make me buy one of these consoles.
I think if I was coming in today and I hadn't seen anything about either of them so far, it would be Xbox One. And that's me coming from looking at, you know, running up to now. I was a big PS4 guy. That's probably what I would have got, but with what's happened with like a lot of the games being pushed back, I kind of have to go with Xbox One. It's kind of leading at the moment.
I would definitely say that, and South Park also agrees.
Apparently so. Bill Gates wins. That's who wins, really.